I suspect that most of us have portions of the Scripture that we would rewrite if we could, if it were left up to us. All of us pick and choose our spots. Thomas Jefferson, as a matter of fact, rewrote the entire New Testament because he wanted to have it agree with him rather than he agree with it. The text that goes along with the lesson for this day is the text from Samuel, in which the children of Israel approached the prophet about having a king just like the other people. If it were up to Massey, the Bible, the Hebrew text as we know it, would not start with Genesis. It would start with the books of Samuel, Kings, and Chronicles, because that is the meat of the coconut, as it were, in terms of the development of what is going to become the nation of Israel. So in the Samuel text for today, what happens is they come to Samuel and say, we want to be just like everybody else. And Samuel says, no, you don't. And they say, yeah, we want to be everybody else. And Samuel says, do you know what you're asking? You want somebody else to impose taxes upon your livelihoods and your farms and your flocks. Do you want somebody else to send your young men and women off to war? And they say, we want to be just like everybody else. And what this text does, it sets up the crux of the dilemma between what it means to be a nation and what it means to be a people of faith. Now, most of you will know, in one context or another, what we call the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, you may know that prayer was written by a man named Reinhold Niebuhr. Niebuhr, for my money, is the most significant American theologian, perhaps the most significant theologian, if you will, in the Western Hemisphere during the period after the Second World War, what we might call the nuclear age, certainly the Cold War. And what Niebuhr believed was that nation states held each other in what he called the balance of power. The balance of power becomes the intellectual premise of the Cold War. Niebuhr takes this from his premise that love is called the impossible possibility. Love the possible, love the impossibility are held in tension with one another. Niebuhr is the one who writes this prayer. Let me suggest to you then that when you go in to vote, when you go into the booth and close the curtain or into the place to mark your ballot, whatever it is you do, that you look at the prayer, the serenity prayer, not as a statement of personal piety, but as a statement of civic opportunity. You offered the serenity to accept the things you cannot change. You offered the ability to change the things you can change. And you're offered the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.